The time has come. Prydwen has updated most of the characters already for their tier list, at least the new ones, when it comes to Chisato, when it comes to some of the treasures and whatnot. We were checking yesterday on stream, but I wanted to make a separate video going over the changes to see where we agree and where we disagree and some of the new stuff they have included. As usual, before we start, hello there, guys. Welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict, and today's topic, Prydwen updated tier list when it comes to NIKKE, what they have been doing and where some of the new girls are positioned. I'm not going to be going over the pros and cons on every single character because we will be here 3 hours, but I do want to go over the investment tips to see, again, where we agree or might disagree. That said, let's jump directly into this. As usual, we're going to be checking the bossing tier list because it's the one I personally like. And I already can see Moran, the best girl, with the triple S everywhere, which is fantastic and also deserved. I also said this on my initial video when I was talking about Moran and her treasure. She can be a Chisato character, no problem, and most likely she will end up being, going higher in the future, depending on what they release for the half anniversary. A fantastic treasure. She's allowing everyone to push a little bit harder on hard mode even, because the damage reduction is really good. Okay, obviously you need to make sure your team still has good burst generation, but she's a fantastic character. You don't really need to be bringing skills to level 10, obviously, but considering it's such a great character, I would recommend going to level 10, like on both skill 2 and burst. Skill 1, we can ignore a little bit more because this cooldown is the same everywhere. But that's it. Before I go too much ranting into her skills, fantastic character. Finally, Moran is getting some love. Now we have to wait for Sakura and Rosanna. I do really like Sakura. I think it's one of my favorite characters design-wise. First official wife too, right? So hopefully she gets a treasure that can match Moran or be a pretty good one, right? Now, when it comes to Moran versus Helm versus Privaty, I feel wherever one of them is, the others should also be in terms of the tier list, which again, I don't even follow this myself, okay? So just talking here a little bit right now. I feel all three of them are such great treasures. And if we talk about who is the most complete one out of all of them, I think it's still Helm, because everything she provides is not only just the extra burst generation, it's the moves, it's the heals, the synergies with, almost every meta character, and the extra burst generation is such a great touch in contrast to Privaty and Moran. But still, I can agree with the SSS or the SS placements. Remember that tier list, regardless of which one you use, Prydwen, NIKKE, the best tier list out there, not Waifus.com, it doesn't matter. It's a reference and should only be used as that. And you should be, Prydwen, NIKKE is also updated. Okay, we can check this later maybe. I can see all three of them on SSS. Alright, we will check this on stream today and see where they have placed the new girls. But for now, let's focus on Prydwen itself. So I can agree with the characters being on SS or on SSS. Either one of them works for these 3 new treasures. That said, let's check her investment tips and what they are recommending right now. Once again, if you guys are interested in understanding how the characters work, Prydwen makes really good reviews, but I am a lazy bitch and I usually only read the pros and the cons, nothing else, right? That said, let's check the investment tips, which is the important one, and they are recommending a 7-10-10 into a 10-10-10. Okay, I don't think you need to be taking a skill 1 to level 10. It's probably wasted skill materials because this cooldown is the same regardless. If you are considering to building her as a DPS and fully invested into her as a sub DPS, right? Yeah, sure. I can see why for this part here, but it's still not really worth it, and the defense doesn't even go much higher either. So in my opinion, level 7 is more than enough on that skill 1. But that's just me. Then they are recommending a normal DPS build with elemental and attack. The magic build on NIKKE, bro. I love NIKKE, but it's kind of like a boring game to build characters because it's always gonna be the same on each character. LA attack, max ammo, and then you go for some crit, and then the ammo depends on the character. So many units nowadays, you can even skip the max ammo because they either switch weapons or they go super fast into the next rotation because our rotations are really good nowadays, right? So you don't need to worry even about max ammo. Usually one line is more than enough nowadays on newer characters being released. And then they're recommending tempering, vigor, healing, or distraction. Okay, I can get behind us. As I've always said the same thing, I'm not a fan of the Destruction Cube, but I can see it working. In my case, I've been running Resilience or Bastion because it's just more stats for her, nothing else, okay? I want to keep her healthy and alive, and usually your highest works well. That said, I can agree with where Moran is, no problem at all. Let's also check Privaty, which is double S everywhere, story posing and PvP. And I don't see Chisato anywhere here. I'm not surprised, to be honest. But let's check what's going on with Privaty, okay? I agree where she's on the tier list. I've said this already. One of the best B3 buffers in the game, if not the best B3 buffer in the game, because she provides every offensive moves you can or you want on your team. Attack, you also are getting the attack damage. You're also getting the damage taken on a skill 2, which is fantastic. One of the biggest problems with Privaty is that her numbers don't go really high in terms of, you know, going from level 7 to level 10. So that min-max is going to be mostly for people who really care about using her own main content. But the skill 1 should be taken to level 10 for sure. Those moves are fantastic. So, once again, let's check what they're recommending. They're recommending a 10, 10, 7, alright? I can agree with the level 10 of the damage taken. I don't think it's necessary because, like I said earlier, it's not gonna be a huge difference in terms of the percentage itself. But if you're gonna be using it on most raids and content, it's worth taking to level 10 if you care. For me, she's gonna be remaining at 10, 7, 7 because we still have resources, but I don't want to be going too crazy before we run out of them, okay? That's it. I can agree. Obviously, the only thing you want to avoid with her is to not have max ammo. Do not break your Privaty. Outside of that, basic bitch build with LA, attack, and the usual crit lines. And when it comes to Cube, Resilience, Tempering, Vigor, Endurance. Okay. For PvE. Just to keep her alive a little bit longer instead of focusing on her own personal damage. Yeah. Alright. I can say it, I would not put any of those cubes on her personally because I want more damage, but if you want to keep her alive, it would make sense to be using one of the other cubes. I think the biggest problem is having enough levels on these cubes where it actually matters, right? Because if you have it at level 7 at 10% max HP, just at that point, just fucking run Resilience, which you probably have invested for the stats. But that depends on what you have invested, obviously. But do agree where she's on the tier list. Fantastic character. All of these 3 treasures are the biggest priority. They are such great treasures, honestly. Okay, where is... Sui is not rated yet, as far as I know. Yes. Sui, in my opinion, will be an S tier treasure, just with Tove and Miranda. If those two are here, Sui should also be here, because it's a fantastic treasure, and it's gonna be used pretty consistently on most content moving forward. I still don't remember where they put... Okay, Chisato is here. So Chisato is SAB. I don't really agree with where she is for bossing. I think she's a little bit low in contrast to, you know, for example, fucking Modernia, Nor, Quincy. Quincy, okay, yeah, why not? Maxwell, even Brady nowadays. I will say I will put her probably on S, but again, semantics. If your complaint for a character is a tier up or a tier down, it's just fucking semantics and obviously some bias. So it's fine. That works. When it comes to investment on Chisato, honestly, I feel unless you are lucky in iron units, a lot of people don't have resources right now to be building them. Same for Takina. If you can only build one, I would go for Chisato over Takina. She's been doing really, really good when it comes to iron. Iron is falling off a little bit because of Red Hood. Let's be honest. Okay, let's be honest. But if you do end up leveling her up, what I would recommend is going all in on this skill 2 just for the extra damage right there. It's fantastic. She's been doing great damage, like even in contrast to the other meta girls, considering mine is a base copy, and I've been putting her against my, you know, highest investment units in the account with Liberalia, with SBS, with the Snow, with the newest Snow White, etc. She is doing really well. That's it. Investment tips for her, it's a 7, 10, 7, going all the way to 10, 10, 10. Again, I don't think you need to go 10 to 10, but this is obviously only for big spenders or people who can afford to go for 10 to 10 on the new release girls. Focus on skill 2 first, like I was saying earlier, because it is where most of her damage is going to be coming from. A big part of her damage is going to be coming from. And then LA attack max ammo for the build. Alright. Like I said earlier, I feel NIKKE is at the point where you can put the same build on every single character and it works. You don't have to worry about anything because there is not that many good lines you can get when it comes to Overload. And then Resilience, Bastion, and Distraction. Alright, I would remove Distraction here in this case because actually the new cube is pretty good. The Rupture cube with the true damage is good, but this assumes you have enough batteries to level it up. I do not have batteries and mine is not leveled up, so obviously my Raptor cube is level 4. Whenever I finish leveling up, this is going to be my next cube that I am focusing on with the currency from Union Red. I will be using the Raptor cube on all of these new true damage girls because it's actually pretty good, just like the Pierce cube for those girls. So that's for Chisato, and I don't think they have any of the other treasures yet in place. So when it comes to Senti, for example, no, I can expect Senti being whatever the milk treasure is. So here, probably a D or an E. I feel we're at the point where a lot of these lower tiers could be merged and nothing matters too much. Like, there is no difference for a new player between Junie or fucking Flora or Admi or Arya. As much as Admi has the riddle of speed, it doesn't matter. It's useless characters. Like, I feel if the character is useless, it's useless. There is no need to categorize who is the bigger shit amongst all of these characters, right? But that's just me. That's just me. That said, that's basically most of the newer changes they've made. I agree with where most of them are. I am still not 100% sure if I want to put Moran on this or not myself, but my god, she's been doing work. She's been putting in a lot of work on tower as well. I was able to push another 10 floors on towers thanks to her. I am stuck on a really annoying one now, but I will probably try again this week, which is 1130. Really annoying boss, but it is what it is. The usual high combat power deficit annoyance, right? That said, enough jumping, enough ranting. We're live every single day. Do let me know how you guys are feeling about the changes for the Prydwen tier list. And as usual, good luck with your pool generates, and I'll see you on the next one.